Oh, Bill, this is Ryder here at the opening of the Guts Hyperkey Premium New Generation Stars set. Yep, we don't have anything else to open this up with. So is this technically an opening the Devil Trigger? Shoot, we actually could have done that. Because I still have the Glacia's Dead Man set to open, but I don't have the Dead Man set still. So, man. Oh well. That's the CD box. Anyways, I guess we would just open this thing by itself just because. Yeah. I already put away the EX selection with the others to not be able to compare at the front, but yeah, they obviously, because it's 2024 and not 2021, they obviously skimped out on the front. But obviously, when it comes to a Hyperkey set, it's going to be my most anticipated release of the year, like how EX selection was. But then, obviously last year, we also actually got the Ultra Replica Flash Prism. But this year, it just seems to only be this. And, oh, no, because this is technically second, because of the fact they decided to stupidly do the Memorial Edition Gut Sparklets. So, here we have Blazar and Earthgaron. It still credits Trigger, even though this is specifically for new generation stars. And obviously, ever since the Gaia set, they stopped the sleeves, and also it just seems like there's no tape on this. I guess with these boxes, they don't feel the need of having to tape them anymore, which is kind of weird. Yeah, I'm still under the weather, but I'm at least able to speak for a long time, as opposed to a few days ago, where my voice will just get stuffed up. But here we have technically the main key of the set, because this one does actually appear in New Generation Stars, and it's B022. I don't remember if we've ever obtained that one, but this is the storage Hyperkey, to which I have not seen New Generation Stars neither season, but I saw bits of the last episode, and basically this one actually allows whatever her name was, to, I think they use this throughout the entire show to gather data of the Ultramen. And I think this is the voice of the robot character, but I think this is sound mode. So basically, that's going to be the format of these. It's going to be data of the Ultraman, the grunt, the attack, and then the grunt, the sound of the main antagonist of that series. And Victory is actually tagged alongside Ginga. Belial's in here twice. Yeah, so we actually have the 3 of them. I was gonna call them the Igarashis. Avenger is actually, or Sevenger is actually included. Huh? Venus is actually included. And Earth Garon. And that's it. Okay, this is phrase mode. So that's 7 phrases. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. 7 phrases. So it's interesting that it doesn't even consider that second mode sound mode. I don't remember how we have done these. Like, do we do this and then the device, or do we go through them individually? I don't remember. Let's see. Well, we messed up. But we were supposed to just leave these in, but oh well. So here's Blazar, to which here we have him doing the Blazar Coulson and such, which is pretty neat. I don't know why they decided to do red for him, but alright. Cool. This is BGM mode.
Ultraman Blazar! Sound mode! Ikuzo, Blazar!
Really nice to actually hear that. He actually does have a BGM track. It's not his theme, but it's a variant of the main theme, or the opening, which is interesting. Spiral Braid, Blazar Coulson. So that one's pretty simple and pretty standard to what we've gotten with the new generation sets. And then here we have a new Kaiju key, Earth Garon, because he is M-36, and he is B031. So that means this one's taking up a track for an Ultraman key as opposed to a Kaiju key, but I guess because this one isn't necessarily a Kaiju key. But, you know, kind of neat to see a DX one of these again. Is there 3 attacks? And then we have our traditional Ultra Monsters. I like that's the sound for Garmon. It's not even like a proper roar. It's just the Chilsonite sword sound. Is that the last one? No. This is the longest one we've gotten in a while, because I think it's all the kaijus from the show. But you can't blame them, because there's actually a lot of new kaijus for this show. Just that Earth Garen isn't included. And then here is the one and only Grigio Hyper Key that they kept saying to us, oh, it wasn't going to happen. Just like them saying, oh, a Memorial Edition Guts Spark Lens wasn't going to happen because we don't need to do one. But they did one. So it just makes sense that they would take back the word and make Grigio. And she is also B028. I think when I actually do the review, I will get Rosso and Blue out and such. But though I think she's formatted a bit differently because of her lack of sounds. No, I'm dumb. She's just treated. I thought they made her function like this. I think it's sound mode that I'm confusing it with. They formatted sound mode weirdly. I don't remember if that was from the Blazar brace, or if that's, again, another variation of her transformation. Yeah, so here they just stuff phrases in because there's not enough sounds. Yep, of course it'll still do that. Come on. Also, I'm pretty sure they just pulled the majorities off of Ultra Galaxy Fight. I forgot I wasn't supposed to go through them. And she doesn't have a color timer, son.
Ultra Monsters.
So I thought, I guess it's dumb for me to think this, but I genuinely thought that, like, obviously they needed to put the Ultra Monster mode into her to justify its existence. But I thought it would have just been a rollout of all of the Rube Kaijus. But then when I go through this, do we cycle back? Yeah, okay. So they went with the route that they did with Zero and did all the kaijus Grigio has fought. Or has encountered. All the villains she has encountered. Which is why that third one is Tregear. And I think that's different from what's present here. Yeah, so it's at least different. Because they just shortened it for this toy. Alright.
Hyper Key Mode. Hyper Key Mode.
So yeah, there's that. But obviously that's not it, because this thing actually has a lot of things. So I've had my trigger stuff out, I think, since EX Selection, just because I knew, because this set got announced and such, so. And obviously this is not the Memorial Edition, but I think the Memorial Edition still struggles with rating these. Oh, yeah, it does that. Because it updated.
Hyper Key Mode.
Yeah, because
Hyper
of how this key works. But the issue is that this thing is not working properly. So I have to keep changing modes to reset it.
Hyper Key Mode.
And we will not
Hyper Key Mode.
spoil this.
Hyper Key Mode. Hyper Key Mode.
I know this is going to be some people's reasons as to why. See, this is why you should have done the Memorial Edition.
Hyper Key Mode.
Oh my gosh, this thing is not going to...
Hyper Key Mode.
Also, like...
Hyper Key Mode.
Yeah, just in general, it's not reading keys, because that's... Of course, why would it read keys? This and the Desire Driver are pretty bad, but... I don't know, at least the Desire Driver would I feel like the desired driver is at least more manageable. And like again, this is not because I changed out batteries or anything. Like I'm just talking about like in general. But this thing is just being. I don't think this has to do with anything about the batteries. But we will just simply swap them. Swap their places. So basically, if you can't tell, basically loading this in and taking it out of the gut spark lens, it immediately transitions it to the second mode. But yeah, this is not working. This is just okay, so that works. This thing is generally just not working anymore. Alright. Yep. But we already messed this up a lot, so so basically in this mode it's just cycling through them all. So yeah, basically, you know, you go through this. Yeah, and here you get like Victory and like Blue and Taiga and Titus and Fuma. But so basically, I think what you're supposed to do here then is that you're supposed to take the key out, which then basically loads that data. So then when you activate this, as you can see, we have the data of Ultraman X. Which is cool. And I think after that, it just... yeah, so it's only in X's data. Which is, again, a pretty interesting gimmick. So that's interesting. Oh, okay, you're supposed to let that play out. So basically, I guess if you don't actually select it through the gut spark lens, it just immediately puts it in sound mode. So then, like, when you load the data in, didn't. Wait, I don't think I loaded it.
ウルトラマンゼロ
Yeah, I didn't load it.
スレンガー
Okay.
ウルトラマンモーブインウルトラマンロットインストール
I think Russell and Blue are.
新たに入手したデータを転送します
There, so we loaded the data, we take it out.
トレイセキーアップデート
So now it's updated. So it skipped Rosso for some reason. So yeah, we're in group mode, and I think to get out of this, you just hold it down. Yeah, okay. And then we'll do one more.
トレイセキーアップデート
Because technically it thinks it's 0.
スレンガー
We did Decker.
ウルトラマンブル
Oh,
新たに入手しウルトラマンタイガインストール新たに入手したウルトラマン Z インストール
oh, we should have done.
新たに入
Well,
ウルトラマントリガー
we said
新
Decker.
たに入手したウルトラマンベッカーインストール新たに入手したデータを転送しますトレイセキーアップデート
And then that's not. No, whoops. So we will show this when we use the spark lens mode.
トレイセキウルトラマンゼロ
Yeah.
トレイセキアップスレンガー
Yeah, so this is definitely using an Ultraman track.
新たに入手したデータを転送します
So this is just basically another way for it to upload the data, and it seems like it's using a white. The white pattern? I think this is a new track. I don't remember. But basically, I think this is basically, I think, plays the same way like sound mode.
ウルトラマンゼロ ウルトラマン銀河
Yeah. You don't get anything for holding it down. So it's just literally playing through this.
ウルトラマンメックスウルトラマンモーブ
So I'm curious what happens
新たに
if we just
入手したデータを
select
転
it
送します
from here.
ウルトラマンジードインストール
Let's install
新た
Decker.
に入手
Or
したデータを転
we will
送します
install Taiga.
ウルトラマンブルインストールウルトラマンタイガインストール
And then
新たに入手したデータを転送します
I'm curious if it'll restart or it'll actually start from Taiga.
ウルトラマンゼロ
Nope, it just restarts. Okay. So, you literally have to go through this. Yep, it just goes back. And then if we were to use this in Spark Cleanse mode, yeah, so there's nothing different. So, yeah, basically, this is the only hyper key you really want to play more, or it feels more convenient playing in the hyper gun mode, because you can literally just select which. I don't know why Rosso and Blue are separate. 20% woohoo. Because then you just. You do that, take the key out, it updates, and then. We messed up. Yeah, and then that's it. So this one's definitely the most, like, interesting hyperkey we've done. So obviously. Yeah, it would have been cool if we can play that to replicate how it's done in the DX toy. There's Nijigan. No. Nijikagachi. And then they put the Spiral Parade here? I don't know what the first two attacks were. I think that's the Blazar, right? Wait, that's the flight sound? Wait, so there's no Chilsonite sword sound then. That can't be it. So he only has 5 attacks. Which is normal, but really weird they excluded the Chilsonite sword. But we're gonna press it like in the middle of Gento's phrase. And we're not gonna press it. Again, it's an interesting choice to add this track. Because they typically, again, like, they would have done the opening, but, again, Memorial Edition. But they would have done his main theme at least, but I'm actually kind of glad they chose this track. Because of what they're doing with the art cubes. And I know, technically, like, the only thing with, this mode, obviously... We just don't have Gento's phrase. Yeah, see, I would have liked if we got a second click. To have, like... To have Blazar. To have... this grunt follow through. Because that's how it is in the toy, but... Oh well, this is a nice back to form new generation hyper key, especially after Decker. Yeah, so he's just another one that uses white. Okay, so it's just that phrase when you hold it. Yeah. Did we cycle back? Because I was gonna say, like, do they have the attacks for each mode? Wheel. We will figure out when we go through Spark One's mode. Then we won't press it. Okay, we did cycle through. Also, we're in the wrong track because it's supposed to be a white LED, which means it thinks it's an Ultraman. Okay, so there's 9 sounds? Or 7? My bad. Come on, Asahi. Work. Oh wait, no Asahi phrase? Okay. I really do like the orange, even though again we got it for victory. I don't know what that's. This is probably from the apps, not the Destined Crossroad. I haven't finished it. And she doesn't have a flight sound. So I think they took the same approach as Earth Garon and make all her phrases when you hold it down. Because again, she doesn't have a color timer sound. Who did this? Carmilla? Was she the first one that did this? Because I think Grigio's the first Ultra to do this. Because they've been only doing this with the kaijus. And I think some of these are exclusive to this. Okay, so she has 8 phrases just like this key. But unlike this key, the only way to access those phrases is through the gut spark lens. Okay. So this key is definitely interesting. Again, I would have assumed them to have this phrase to be the phrase of when you insert it. Unless I'm... Okay, it does do that. Why is it red? Why didn't I get that previously then? Do I actually have to be in sound mode? That's... Huh. Weird. Alright. So if you want that phrase to play, you have to be in sound mode, making this the first hyper key to actually make a difference when you use it in sound mode, which shouldn't have to be the case. It's cool they give us the option, but they didn't do that with Decker, nor Leo 80 or 7. You didn't have to be in sound mode to hear them. Like, again, with Decker, you're just permanently stuck with it because he only had the Ultra Monster mode and such. That's why in the standbys they delay it, or they make it so like they allow the standby to play, but then if you want them to speak, then it will happen. But it's weird that this key, if you want Asahi to speak, you have to be in sound mode. What about Ultra Monster mode? Will this allow us to become Grigio Regina? Yeah, see? She's not speaking. And she won't speak. I don't know if that was a genuine mistake or that was a decision. Because I'm not upset, because now I'm like, they should have just made that the case with, again, 7, Leo, 80, and Decker. And like, I can't say that with Blazar, because again, Blazar has the BGM mode, so you do have the option. But for the Ultras that didn't have that option, well, again, like 7, Leo, and 80, you had to press it, and you barely heard it because obviously it was being overwritten by the sound of pressing this thing. But with Decker, that would have been cool. I actually would have appreciated if Decker had that option, but he doesn't. What is this one cell battery for? So storage.
Maximum boost up. Surrender. Rage toward finish.
So this one only has the one. You don't get to upload data. Oh, jeez.
Sky arrow. Maximum boost up. Blazar. Spiral. Arrow strike.
And Blazar is interesting because he's the first one to actually have something different when you insert it in circle arms, because typically the finisher sounds are carried over. But this one actually acknowledges the spiral parade, which is pretty cool. Oh, jeez.
Ultraman Blazar. Power Claw. Maximum boost up. Scar. Earth Fire. Claw impact.
Does this one say? No, this one just says Savenger.
Maximum boost up. Surrender. Rage. Claw impact.
Okay, so that's interesting. So wait, these two are inverted. All right.
Multi-sword. Maximum boost up. Grigio. Sheer. Sword finish.
This one's actually pretty cool. And again, this one's pretty interesting because they went with the, what was it called? The Grigio cheer shot? Which is interesting instead of just the Grigio shot. That's really interesting. I generally don't remember what the cell battery was for, but it helped. We're not gonna replace the batteries for these. That's just not worth it. But let's put these back in as we remember what I was trying to say, because I think what I was going to say is that obviously they only got him back to obviously just voice the, or to just do lines for Blazar and Earth Garen, because, or and Grigio, for these three. They didn't need him to voice anything for this one because the sounds for this one were already pre-programmed into here, because there is a storage sound in here, which is just what we eventually finally got in Blazar with the Savenger stone. It's basically this. It's just the same thing of where there would have been a storage hyper key that went through all 4 storage robots and such. But you know, again, we got that in Blazar and such. But yeah, overall, again, if I'm gonna put this out in September, right now it's July 8th. And I assume I'm putting this out in September, and you're going to see the review of this, I think, in November. This is a really nice set. Even though, again, I was already completely satisfied with EX selection. It's cool that for what I think is actually the final hyperkey set, I think they really went out of their way to introduce or to like bring back some like old uh like additions, but also introducing a lot of new things, especially with the storage hyperkey. This one is really impressive overall, and such, and most heavily jam packed, and such. Blazar and Earth Garon are what you expect them to be. Again, Blazar, the only thing about him, I find it weird that he doesn't have any Chalcedonite Sword finishers. Obviously, I'm not gonna ask them to have Fedoran armor sounds because as I've already expressed before, I don't like it when they have random form attacks in the keys that they're not represented, that that's not representative of them. But the Chalcedonite sword is a weapon, so I would have expected that. Because technically, you only get Garamon through here, and again, I think Garamon, I think Earthgaron, I assume it's just an attack for each of his forms and such. I'm not, obviously I haven't watched Blazar nor New Generation Stars. I haven't watched anything since episode 4 of Zet, episode 4 of Taiga. And of course, Grigio is nice to have. Again, even if they like basically it's cool that they basically found material they could pull from her and such. Like, I assume they must have gotten a lot of demand for her to be put here. Because I think 10%, okay. Because I assume this set would have just been these 3 keys. But I think having Grigio here is like a really nice like roundup and such. I generally don't know what more I would have asked for out of this set. The fact that we did get this set is nice. It's been a while since we've had a just normal or an annual just 4-pack and such, because I think the last one technically was, I think Zet was the only 4-pack we technically got, because everything else was 5. Tigo was 3, but it was packed as 4. Zet was 4, and then the new generation heroes were 5, and then obviously the Ultra Brothers were 8, and then the Hyper or the Trigger sets were 5 and 3, and then Gaia was 3, and then EX Selection was 7, and we were back to 4 and such. So I think again, the reason why I'm saying this is probably most likely the final Hyperkey set is because of the transition from the Guts Hyperkey Premium line to the Arc Cube Premium line. And I think there just has to be like super demand from people to clamor Bandai to continue making hyperkeys, to make an Arc Key, or even like Dinas. But I think Bandai is done. Just because, again, they like, especially with EX Selection, they've already done everything they needed to do. All the technical mainline ultras have been released. Obviously, I'm still missing Cosmos. I don't think they're ever going to release Cosmos. But besides him, they don't have any desire to release any other of the pre-programmed sounds on the Gut Spark lens, obviously. And again, Grigio was a key they didn't bother to do for 2 years. Can I say 2 years? Or 3 years? I guess it's 3 years. And then obviously Blazar and Earthgaron, just because they were the 2 most recent characters. And obviously, it was basically revolved around this key, obviously, because I think I find it interesting that for the second season of New Generation Stars, they went backwards and did a gimmick for Trigger as opposed to going forward because again, we had the dimensionizer for the first season. And I do like that they found a way to like basically still keep the essence of the dimensionizer, but just stick it all in a key and such. Like that's actually pretty neat and such. But it's just kind of funny that like they managed to find ways to like still release trigger stuff even after because like I think technically because for Decker the two releases that of trigger would have been well I was going to say it would have been the Ultra Dual Sword and the Gaia set, but I think that's just when I covered them. But Blazar, it was the Memorial Edition got Spark Lens and then this set and such. And like again, I don't think it's worth it personally. Just because again, especially because Bandai themselves literally said there was no reason for them to make it. But then for some reason they wanted to make it after Decker for some reason. And the only thing I like about that set are the hyper key, or I mean more of the trigger hyper key. The Z original I feel is honestly redundant because it just super fixates on one moment that's already in Beta Smash's key. So it just doesn't provide anything new. Like, yeah, it's cool that you can recreate the entire scene, but stop. Why didn't you include Haruki lines from episode Z then? Or like why didn't you rip lines from that movie then? Oh. But and then Reboot's key is fine. Like you can do again, you can recreate like I think it has like a specific mode to like recreate the one time it got used in the Gut Spark lens. And then like I think the version 2 of the trigger memorial key is actually probably my favorite just because I think it does have lines from episode Z, but also from Decker. So it's like if you want Kengo representation of Decker, then yeah, you're kind of stuck with getting the Memorial Edition. But like the thing is that they could have just re-released the keys. If they re-released the keys, I would have been fine. But obviously they wanted a reason to like re-release the Guts Spark lens again. So they just did the bare minimum of paint touch up, and then like they did the bare minimum of like programming in new stuff because basically it's literally just like, oh, you can now go through like you can now select which kaiju key you have without actually putting in the key, and it's just like okay. And I don't even know what BGM tracks it actually has. I don't even know how much it has. And the thing too is like the hyperkeys already have that stuff. Well, they have a singular one, obviously, but like, and I guess the only thing I can compliment it on is like it does accompany the pre-existing premium memorial sets, but like at the same time, it's just like it's super redundant of a release. And like I don't think it's one that actually does touch up on like anything. It doesn't like fix like it doesn't fix the issue of it not reading keys, and like the sound quality I feel like is not going to be that different. It's probably going to sound clearer like these keys, but like I don't know. Like, and I forgot that the version 2 trigger memorial key also doubles as the evil trigger key. Because if I do end up getting those keys, I'll probably just make it evil trigger. Just to at least make it different, even if it doesn't make sense for like when you use it in like Decker mode. But I think the evil trigger mode is basically what its BGM mode slash monster ultra monster mode is supposed to be. Or I think yeah, I think that's the interesting thing with those three keys. They don't have like standard like third modes. They all their third modes are unique. So like the version 2 trigger key is evil trigger. Zet's mode is the reenactment of episode 7, and then reboots is the reenactment of episode 23, I think. So yeah, that's definitely interesting and such. But if I can, I don't know. I feel like the only way I'll cover those keys is if I can actually get them loose without the gut spark lens, just because I don't think it's necessary. It's not like those keys even add on to the features of the gut spark lens. They literally just do their own thing. So it's just like I would have liked if they did just, I wouldn't say release the keys separate, like done just a set of just those three keys. Like I get that they needed a way to sell them. Or like they needed a reason why to resell it, but it's not worth it. So I don't know. Unless if I can get those keys, if I actually do bother getting those keys loose, and for the sake of Trigger version 2 with the sticker sheet, and then like I don't know, maybe we'll cover it. But as of now, this is going to be the last. This will be the last hyperkey set that we'll ever cover, and this is potentially going to be the, I think what I can say, the second to final opening the devil trigger. Which is kind of surreal that, not surreal, but I don't know, the fact that this series is still around. Like, not, I think this series outlasted Hypocritical Saber. But I mean, like, the thing is that Revice got technically transitioned out of this series. And I don't know. Because again, Revice, we only need like 3 more Vice stamps. Like the movie ticket ones, and then again, I only need Cosmos because I keep forgetting that I need to cover Savenger Drill Arm. Jeez. But yeah, that will have to do with this opening. We're really in the final stretch of things. So, did I already say that had to do with this opening? I don't remember. This is Ryder. No, I'll leave you people. It's been a while we did just a traditional opening that wasn't a live stream. Bye.